How you doing, bro?
Not bad, Denzel. I appreciate you for being here.
No, thank you.
Here for the Dads podcast. Very first one. You know what I'm saying? I feel not nervous. I'm like excited.
I'm nervous, but I'm happy nervous. I'm
you know
happy
what I'm saying?
nervous.
I feel like I looked at 100 different type of videos on like how to kind of get into the mood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've been playing sports for a long time, but
I
I never really got behind like a camera and did
Never.
nothing like this.
And you watch the news, you be thinking it's so easy until you be sitting in the seats and you be like, oh man, it's different.
Yeah. And I'm just happy to actually get doing something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm finally in a job where I get a little bit more time to kind of like do this during
Whoa,
the day.
100%.
And then like kind of work during the night, like on some Batman type stuff or whatever. But I guess officially this is episode 2.
That's what's up, man.
So
I love it. I'm so happy
I guess we consistent.
to get the opportunity. I'm happy to be in the room. That's it. I'm happy to be here.
Me too. And we got my boy Sony on the ones and twos. I guess you can say ones and twos. He's doing sound, video, and all that other stuff.
The production.
Yeah, I mean,
The production.
all of this stuff. There's no way in the world I could have did like all of this by myself. The mics and the setup and stuff like that. I try to learn it.
This is official.
Yeah, I try to learn it, but I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
You know the reason why we're here. I mean, we could talk about pretty much any and everything. It's gonna be a normal conversation between two dads. This is stuff that we do all the time, any day, every day.
On the phone.
It's just that now we got viewers that's actually watching, kind of getting the creep in.
Yeah.
And the real reason why I wanted to do is because, I mean, I kind of blogged about it a little bit before on my page a little bit, just talking about whenever I get on my wife's Instagram or
We gonna talk.
just be in the car with her or something like that, bro, moms back up moms like
religiously.
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 And dads, I want to say we do it to a certain extent, but it's like, it don't normally start off good. Like, moms will become a friend to another mom specifically just because they're moms. Like, that's just it. If you become a dad, it's first like, ooh. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, yeah. But in the back of your head, you're thinking like, all right, so I automatically probably won't be hitting them up to go to the YMCA to play basketball early in the morning anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Automatically won't be doing this. You start like listing things that I guess start like not repealing from the relationship, but if you don't have kids,
You don't understand, or like I feel like the brothers who don't have kids, they may think they were like, oh, I don't want to disturb him because I know he's
it's
busy.
like an impeding thing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I do have friends, or at least have had friends that didn't do that, and that's actually worse. Like the ones that don't get it,
they don't care.
They don't care. They just pull up on you like,
Yeah.
Bro, I remember being, I won't say like no names or anything like that, but I have had friends who like pull up in the crib, and I got like 42 kids now, so it's like,
You got a clan.
Yeah, I got a whole clan. Like I'm like one away from like a basketball team.
Yeah,
I would play
which is
with them.
perfect.
I would play with them at the YMCA. We just run the whole court, but I can't
100%.
play basketball. So
100%.
It's not gonna help. But like,
I'm a coach.
when like they'll come into the crib and they be trying to have a conversation with me, and all you hear in the background is like, Daddy, do this and da da da. Or you hear like them yelling and one baby screaming, and I'm like trying to change the diaper and stuff like that, and they're like constantly trying to tell me a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like they're not really catching the cues.
Yeah.
So you want to
tell them,
say
be like,
nothing.
bro, relax.
Yeah, when you working with a dad, they know how to pause in the right times. They don't get bothered by it. Like I call my boy Val like 100 times like during the week. And we'll have one or the other like screaming in the background. You get a pause because they're like, put one in the bath. You don't feel no type of way.
Yeah, 100%.
Or whatever. So you get that.
Yeah.
Man. We both been in that position too before.
And it works like what you said about moms. Like they link up when they find another mom. They like, oh, I'm in this. My wife, she goes and she's in the Virginia Beach moms.
Oh, bro,
group,
the Facebook
Facebook page.
Yeah.
And they talk about schools. They talk about this. They talk about doctors. Who's the bad doctors out here? Who's the good
schools,
doctors?
they be talking about schools,
man.
tell me about the teachers. Bro, it's so smooth. They get to tap into a network like that. And I'm sure we probably got it somewhere, but ours be dad jokes.
Yeah, and
for
it's
the most
like,
times.
and it's cool. It's cool that you created this space where dads could tap in with you, listen to you guys talk about common dad struggles because moms have been able to. And you may think it may be the connotation that ladies are able to open up more to each other. Us, guys, it'd be like, hey, be a man, suck it up.
Yeah, it's like get afraid to get vulnerable a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially around other dads, like you're right.
it is some vulnerable times you find yourself.
It's hard.
Especially like you find yourself I find myself in a couple scenarios with my kids where I just felt like completely naked. Like, and when I say that, it's because either like we're having a conversation where they're asking me something and I don't know the answer to it, or like find yourself in a medical situation. Yeah. Like where we'll probably talk a little bit more about that later. But first, let me kind of go back because of course I know you. Yeah. The viewers don't really know you. Just of course, you go Zell, Denzel, whatever.
It's a lot of different names.
I guess just tell me about like what you've been up to. I know it's Noah's like first birthday and all that other stuff too. So
it's a big time for me. What is it? So went to Academy. Okay. Graduated 2020.
Academy, what's that?
The Naval Academy.
Okay. Sometimes we feel like States I want people to look at us laying like, oh, bougie.
They be like, oh, you went to Academy. What? You a cop or something? I'm like, no, excuse me, I'm sorry. United States Naval Academy.
Yeah, not that Academy. Like the Academy. Naval Academy. Okay.
The Naval Academy. What is it? Commissioned 2020. All throughout COVID, it was a crazy time. Came out to Norfolk. I'm on going through the medical board process. I had a surgery, so I'm limited to what I could do for the Navy right now. Okay. During that time in 2020, my girlfriend that I met when I was at the academy, we became parents. Which was
I thought you were about to say best buds.
No. We became
best buds.
Parents. It's funny. It's a completely funny story, but we became parents and we got married. And we got married in November of 2020, which was really, it was a funny story. We got married on our lunch breaks. We met on our lunch breaks.
Like legit, like
lunch breaks. We met on. So she works in the mortgage industry. Okay. I was at a school, basic division officer course. I believe, right? Yeah. And so we had a lunch break. I told my teacher. I said, "Sir, my wife and I, we want to get married. We just want to do it." And he was like, "Well, yeah, you can go leave that lunch."
Bro, what?
So I met her. We met each other. This little short woman. She had to be at least 5 feet tall. Maybe 4'11".
She throw her heels on.
Bro, nah. She was straight.
Hey, how tall are you?
I'm 6'1". Okay. 6'3" in the papers.
I was about to say, sometimes with football, you kind of got to like beef it up a little bit. Like I tell somebody I'm 5'11" and a half because that matters. Especially for like a DB. You don't say 6 feet. They're like, okay, you might as well go on. Yeah. So when the recruiters come up, you wearing like the Forces or the Timbs or whatever.
When you go to recruit visits, I was wearing Air Maxes all the time. Come on. I'll be wearing oversized hoodies to make myself look bigger.
We talking about the foams? Come on, bro. But I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm listening.
No, it's funny. We got married. It was awesome. Nova was born in 2021. And what is it? I've been out here going through the med board process. Currently, I've gotten into real estate, which has just been great, honestly, being able to communicate with people, talk to people, help folks out, buy properties, sell properties. It's new to me. It's a different thing. It's like going and passing a swim call. It's new to me.
Swim call.
It's new to me, right? And so it's new to me, but I have a great team around me. People that are pushing me to be great. So that's like the newest thing that I got going in my life. And I've seen what got me connected to you was you were a beast at the academy.
Depends on what you mean by
you were a beast at the academy.
Different
you were a beast on the field.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? What is it? The politics of Navy football.
Yep.
Yep. I know. Come on. But everybody who know you was a dog. JG, Jeremy Griffiths, always told me that you were such a solid brother.
Bro, I've known him for a long time. I probably know him and his wife since they were like, I don't know, 7, 8?
That's crazy.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
Like, I've known the whole family for like a good minute. Yeah. I knew JG back when he had braids, bro.
Yeah. I seen him.
That's a minute ago.
Yeah. That boy, he was like, yeah, you ain't know me back in the day. I was one of the fast kids in the nation.
Yeah, no, he was.
Yeah, he told me.
The world really, like.
He told me he was a dog.
Kept going, like, the world really. And I didn't even know. Sometimes when you kind of in your own lane, did you only play football?
No, I did. I did football and track. I didn't do basketball because I got embarrassed a couple times.
You
get crossed up a few times.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
My embarrassing thing because I ran track. That was like honestly my first love. Like I love track. Thing is, I was violent, so I love playing football. That was the only thing. Yeah, you don't get much violence
in track. No,
in track. I don't even know if violence is a word, but anyway, you don't get that out of that. I couldn't play basketball. One, because my mom was like, "All right, you're doing too much already anyway." And two, whenever I would play, like I was a jumper, so of course I get up there, I could dunk, grab the ball. They wanted me on the team for that. But if I ever had to like do a fast break or like run down the court to like cross somebody over or something,
Yeah.
I would literally like leave the ball, like be like trying to
The
dribble.
coordination was
just not
there.
there. Yeah,
Not there.
just absolutely not there.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that other people were playing different sports. So like, I knew JG for running track.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he played football.
Okay.
So when I found that out, I was like, oh, snap. So I was like, you can do something else if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And people will probably now only know him as a football player and never knew dude was like winning nationals. Like has probably like records of different track meets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's even funnier though is, of course, he's not a dad yet, but like
He trending there.
Yeah, he's about to say he's gonna be trending
He
there.
He trending there. Every time I tell him, he be like, relax.
Bro, and you think about people now who see you like one dimensional. Our kids gonna see us like that too, and I'm getting there right now. Like I try to keep every Navy football sock. I try to keep like the gloves.
They just gonna.
He don't believe me, bro. Yeah, he don't. It's like he don't believe. I got a picture up in the crib. My face not in it, so he really don't believe that.
He said that's not you.
No, that's Daddy. You didn't play football.
That's your cousin. They got the same last name as you.
Like if I don't see you on TV right now, it didn't happen. The same thing with my wife. She was in the military, and like he saw a picture of her with uniform on. He like bust out laughing because he like, why you got daddy clothes on? Bro, they kids, bro, they really see you like. And I mean, when we were kids, we were kind of like that too. When you see teachers, you don't think about like them going home and like actually having a life and stuff like that.
100%.
It's just kind of like right there. And I mean, I guess let's talk about like Nova and how she sees it because she's still young.
She's turning 2 next week.
Golly.
On the 24th. Yeah, so she turns 2 on the 24th.
I don't know why I kept saying 1, so 2, yeah.
Yep, she turns 2.
But y'all just had to like
we had like a little
party, like a little
Virginia birthday party, and then next week we're gonna go to Delaware to my parents' house because that's where more of our family is.
We're so fast.
It goes so quick. So she's
my
2. Nova, she's in that stage where she's talking, but she's not saying nothing.
Yeah.
So she's duck daddy.
Yeah, and look you right in your eyes too, like.
And like, and I'll be
got my juice, right?
I'll be like, huh? What? I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, and then you play along with them. You play along with them.
What you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's at that stage. We're transitioning her, trying to get her to learn how to, you know, the whole potty training thing.
Yeah, oh, bro, don't get me
started. Because my daughter, she doesn't drink juice. Nova doesn't like juice at all.
She need to come teach my kids something about.
She just drinks water.
Oh, but that's amazing.
I gave her apple juice one time. She threw the bottle and kept on walking.
That might have been my kid's favorite word, like first word, like juice.
Really?
Bro, what? If you got juice in the crib, and the thing is, they don't like, it's really weird. So like both of them, both Avery and Nazar, the 2 oldest, they don't really care for like cake, cupcakes, chocolate, Snickers, nothing.
Not really.
They want the stuff that rot their teeth. Like, give me the sugar that stick.
I want the real
Skittles,
stuff. Yes.
Starburst.
Yes.
Give me like the little pixie dust joint. I want something that just gonna crack the enamel.
Like, take that back. Give me the good stuff.
And sometimes I'll watch them. Oh my God. So it might have been like 2 days ago. We had spaghetti night. Spaghetti night is already crazy. You already know how that is. So I'm already looking over there. It's red sauce all over the place. It's greasy and stuff like that. But I look at my 2-year-old and he's drinking his juice. He got some Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? We keep Kool-Aid in the crib. So he's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Typical.
It's probably the first 15 minutes. He's still eating spaghetti. He got some juice. I usually don't give him a lot. Anyway, keep the ice out because he spit it out and do all that other stuff.
Yes.
15 minutes later, dude still got the same amount of juice. I'm like, bro, is really not drinking his juice. Like, I'm so proud of him. Like, yeah, maybe the spaghetti is really hitting like that.
Yeah.
15 minutes after that, spaghetti gone.
Okay.
Juice still at the same level. So I start paying attention. This whole time, him and Azar were taking the juice, drinking it, swishing around their mouth, spitting it back in. So I'm like, bro, why? I go straight to him like, bro, you 5 years old. You know better than do stuff like that. You're going to make a mess. Like, what are you doing? He said, basically, he's trying to save the juice. He don't want the juice to run out because he know you're not getting no more juice. So they taking it, whistling around their mouth, spit it back out, and then eat some more. That's disgusting, bro.
But they geniuses.
Oh, they geniuses, bro.
Yeah.
That's the way to say
I'm going to preserve this. I'm going to preserve this.
Oh, bro. It's so
So hold on. With your kids, did they get into that drawing phase where they draw everything?
Drawing stuff?
Yes.
Not really. Like, Avery kind of got into that. Just, it's like,
bad
very
now.
Small, like, while we were in Guam, but not really. Is she, like, picking up everything drawing
I'm living in Vincent Van Gogh's, studio or something like that.
You gotta get you some of the magic erasers.
Meyer, when I tell you, in our house, we moved into a new build, and walls are white. They're not.
That's like the new thing.
Yeah, but they're not
everything.
semi-gloss or anything. So
Oh, so it's catching everything.
Yes.
But why do they do that to us? That's the worst thing. Like the non-semi-gloss walls is not for kids.
It's easy.
Is that what it is?
It's easy.
You the real estate guy, so you
It's
tell
easy.
me what it is.
They just trying to get the house sold.
I had to repaint the bathroom, bro, because when you walk in there, you literally see fingerprints on the wall.
Yes.
Like it's nasty.
Yes.
It's pretty bad.
So Kayla is starting to get her to draw, and she knows how to draw on paper and stuff, but she'll disappear with markers. She'll disappear with crayons.
And it ain't the washable ones, huh? No.
So now we got these cloth chairs in our dining room. You've seen our dining room kind of table, the gray chairs, cloth, and Nova's just drawing. I looked at one of the chairs.
Bro.
I'm like, oh no.
It look like the trains, just straight graffiti.
It's like, oh jeez, what is she
I just
doing?
bought this. What mama say? Can't have nothing.
Nothing. And I'm like, but the thing is, I'm proud of her because she is drawing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, yo, when I moved out here, before Kayla moved down here, I had my little bachelor pad. It wasn't really a bachelor pad.
Yeah, it felt
but it was
good,
like
though, right?
it was the first time I had my own space. I wasn't rooming with JG. Me and Jeremy were roommates in Newport, so I had my own crib. I had my big sectional couch.
And this is life before kids. That's the conversation we have. Right?
Yeah.
What is life before kids?
Life before kids.
Nice bachelor pad.
I had a nice little, I had a nice sectional couch. I had like a 80-inch TV on the floor. I didn't even put it on the wall. I was lazy. I just had it on the floor.
Bro, that thing probably was just wiggling
Right there, and it was perfect. And I didn't have a dining room table. When I tell you it was bare bones, my mattress was on the floor in my room,
like that,
and I loved it.
That's what we don't need.
I don't need a lot at all,
bro. We don't need.
I don't need curtains.
Give me a little TV.
That's it.
I hardly need Wi-Fi because you get unlimited data nowadays. So it's like I don't need much.
I ain't ask for much. But then when you start seeing your life now, it's like I got toys. I'm watching my step in my house because I got toys everywhere. And it's like you take one step, and I'm like, I really do like, my mom gonna get on my head, but like I try my best not to curse in front of my daughter. But when you step on something, you be like,
make you want to make a curse word.
Yo.
That's like the new, because back in the day, when you go into the bedroom with the lights off, you hit the corner of that bed, right with the big toe
or your little toe. The little toe make you.
Yeah, that make you do some things.
Yeah, that little toe.
But now, and I stepped on a Hot Wheel the other day, and it's good when you catch it on carpet because it give you a little cushion.
Little friction against it.
But when you catch them up on the hardwood, and it's a convertible, so the windows kind of
it's over,
bro.
I'm telling you, I slip on stuff all the time. I got Mrs. Potato Head's eye and everything on the floor. I got all the Toy Story. I have Nova, legit. She probably has every Toy Story character.
Is she like a Toy Story fan? Or are y'all the Toy Story fans?
Okay.
Because that's what happens
sometimes.
Let me preface. All right, talk to me.
I can watch all 4 Toy Stories with Nova.
Really?
And I will love every second of it.
I've never really been a big
Toy Story my
fan.
movie. That's my. Don't
get me wrong. I love Disney. Like I rock with Disney. Like people, they have their things and they get all extra about with Disney.
Before and
but
we
me, bro,
here today.
Oh, I rock with some Disney. Even the old school stuff though.
Yes.
I rock with the Snow Whites and stuff like that. I'm just now getting to. Well, at least my oldest is getting to the age where he can watch some of the old stuff.
Yeah.
Because the new animation is like so real.
Top
It's
tier.
a little bit like top tier. It's a little bit more. They got the bubbly eyes and face and stuff. Like where like from Incredibles like on up like that Pixar look. That's really
Pixar changed the game.
When I tried to get them to watch like Little Mermaid and stuff like maybe just a year or two ago they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now dog,
They love
we don't
it.
watch like Oliver and Company. People actually sleep on that. That's like one of my favorites. See, bro, you don't even know what that is. Oh, bro,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
watch it.
Promise me you're gonna watch it, bro.
And me and Caleb probably watch it.
And there's my favorite part is like there's like little Chihuahuas, a Hispanic dude playing it.
Funny.
And like he's going back and forth with this like bulldog who's like super bougie and pretentious or whatever. And his name's Francis. He always comes, Frankie, man, Frankie. Always does that. He was like, did you bring anything good today? Because I guess they live like in a junkyard or whatever.
Okay.
And he said, you got this rubbish. He was like,
I'm about to go
rubbish,
check it
this
out.
is Primo
Top
Wallet,
tier.
man. Oh, come on, dog. You gotta watch that. I don't want to go all into it because I get, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing, like, it's weird. Like, my friends came over and I had Toy Story on. I think I had Toy Story 3. And if all the parents,
know which one that is.
Well, I'm gonna describe it to you. At the end,
it's what's the Andy, right? So
Andy.
Andy. Then the second one
is when Woody gets stolen.
And then the third one is when the girl comes in. Is
No,
it like a
the second
cowboy?
one is when the cowgirl comes in.
Okay,
That's when he gets stolen. The
okay.
third one is when they go to a. Andy is what is it? Is Andy?
Bro, people gonna fry me up. For
Yeah,
this.
it's fine though. Andy
Okay.
goes to college. He's going to college.
Okay.
So Woody, they go to like some kind of daycare because they were going to put all the toys in the attic or throw them out.
Okay.
And so they all go to this little daycare, and there's like this crazy bear that's running the daycare or whatever.
Yeah, I do remember this now.
Yeah,
Is
and
it like a purple bear or something?
Yes.
He's like an old grandpa type bear. Okay,
yeah, Louisiana accent, whatever,
Okay,
whatever. And they're about to die. And yes,
Who?
all the toys. They at some garbage
They about
depot.
to euthanize them?
Yes, they at a garbage depot, and they all like, you know, when they burn the trash and everything, it's like they're all getting creeped in front of this fire, and they can't escape.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm sitting there, they're all holding hands together like we're going out together.
Oh, no.
And I'm sitting at the TV like, and Nova's sitting right next to me because she looked just like me. So we looking at the TV like, and next thing you know, the little aliens come in, the Martians, with a claw, with like a legit big old garbage claw, and they come save them fools.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
It's
so
always
it's
that
happy.
ending.
It was
Yeah.
happy. So Toy Story 3 is my favorite. Kayla hates that I say it. It got so much emotion. I was like, this kid, they gonna die?
Bro, yeah.
They
Some of
gonna
the Disney
kill Woody.
movies, if they're really good, bro, they will get you to like.
Yeah.
I've actually I think when I was a kid, maybe I wept in Lion King too, but
Lion King hurt.
Not two, but
no, I was a
one.
kid. The
Yeah,
one
I was
I
definitely-
hurt. I was
yeah.
hurt.
Coco, I think was probably the most recent one I
Coco's
actually
good.
cried on. It was
Yeah.
like the grandma or whatever.
100%.
came at the end of it, and I actually cried. But you talking about Toy Story 3 actually just had me think about something. I sometimes as a dad have to be like the bad guy because we talking about like all these daggone toys and stuff. And sometimes I will say that I'm the culprit.
don't wanna buy
Sometimes
toys.
I go buy the toys. I'm not gonna lie. If I see something that I used to have,
Yeah.
I'll buy it for him.
I'ma hook 'em up.
But sometimes my wife, she'll go on like a rampage just to get stuff.
Yes.
Not because she's like wild about it, but like she listens, right? So when the kids they say, "Oh, Sonic this," these commercials come
And
on,
then
she'll
your
grab
wife
it.
would be like, oh, I got you.
Yeah, so she'll grab it. But now we've gotten to a point, especially like going to Guam and coming back. People sometimes just give you toys. Like every birthday party, like people are just bringing toys,
Yes.
like from ages 1 on up. And now I find myself in the Toy Story 3 like phase where I'm the guy putting all these toys in a box.
Yes.
And I'm hiding them. So when
Yes.
they don't ask for it, if they don't ask for it in a week, bruh, they gone, dog.
You want to hear something?
I'm taking
you
it straight to
You may think I'm evil. I broke one of my daughter's toys.
Why, bro? What was it? Was it one of the ones that be talking to be loud? or
Bro,
something?
it was a vacuum. And it was cool at first. Listen, it's a vacuum. It's the little kid vacuum, but there was a red button and it made a sound, this annoying vacuum sound. And Nova would turn it on and walk away. And it'd be going for hours. So one day I grabbed the vacuum and I guess I yanked it too hard. I broke the handle off. And I kind of like placed it somewhere, and like 3 days
You
later,
hide it a little
Kayla found it. Yeah, 3 days later, Kayla found it. She was like, "Nova, what happened to your toy?" And I was like, and she said, "Denny, did Nova break? Did you break Nova's toy?" I said,
Oh, so she kind of knew.
Yeah,
She's like,
she
this
was
look a little too.
Yeah, it looked like a man broke this. And I was like,
Yo.
oh yeah, it happened by accident.
I tripped. I slipped and stepped
and she
on
was
it.
like this, you need to buy her another one. And I was like this, to be honest, it wasn't one of my favorite toys.
Hey, that's just keeping it real.
We could let this one go.
But there's definitely toys like I feel like. So all my friends and people who have friends with kids, right? If you are going to buy toys for your friends' kids for their birthday, you have to be cautious and cognizant, conscious of what you're purchasing because the parents have to also listen, play, be around, step on whatever
toy.
that toy is.
Said toy.
So like I got a rule now, and mostly we just ask for books. Like my kids love books.
That's
but like, I
perfect.
got a rule. Do not if my kid is 2, don't buy them a toy that has 48 pieces.
Yes.
Because now the piece is lost. I'm gonna find them. They'll be stepping on them, stuck in the couch, somewhere in you know what I'm saying, the bed and the chair, all these different things. And he 2.
Yeah.
So the rule is he only get toys with 2 pieces. When he turn 3,
Three
toy
pieces.
can be 3 pieces.
Yeah,
4, until you turn about 5 and 6.
Yeah,
You know.
then we start getting to the Lego
There
phase.
we go. We get on
Yeah.
Lego phase.
Yeah.
But right now, bro, my feet, daddy's feet is hurting.
Yes.
And I don't want to do that again.
Hurting.
So we on that phase. And think about the ones that are really loud and stuff like that. I just can't do that, bro.
Yeah, and you be like this, and then Kayla be like, she be annoyed, and she be like, I'll be on the couch in my safe space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching TV. I ain't bothering nobody.
Come on, man.
I'm in the zone, and it's a shame for all the ladies that will listen to this, because I think ladies should listen to this too. That it's true, gentlemen. We go into our space,
Yeah.
and we go blank.
Absolutely.
And when we go blank, we don't hear nothing. I don't hear anything.
Sometimes I won't even ask you to repeat it because.
Nope.
And she didn't matter. Like, she said, I just told you. I'm like, did I acknowledge you? Because if I didn't acknowledge you, I
didn't hear you. And they be like, oh, you just ignored me? No, I really cannot control it. So, you know what I mean? When the ladies are understanding this, when we go into that safe space, my wife will be like this. Oh, Denny, turn that vacuum cleaner off. It's getting on my nerves. I'm like, you just told me to buy a new one, and now it's getting on your nerves.
Come on, bro.
But it's like,
It's different when they say it.
But you're right with the friends. We just had a birthday, and I had one friend. She got some stuff, and I was like, you did this on purpose,
Probably
right?
did it on purpose. Yeah, she gonna hit you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We grateful, but I really could do with diapers. You throw diapers my way.
Oh, bro.
Oh, we best friends.
Come on, dog. Like,
That's
because
the
then they got to
best
worry
thing
about
ever.
nothing. Because, bro, everything is getting high. They talk about chickens and eggs and milk. Them diapers is...
Diapers.
They selling, too.
The formula shortage that was
Yeah.
last year was
Yeah.
horrible.
That
Couldn't
job.
get no formula.
Man.
We was Similac fans.
Yeah,
If
I remember
could wear a Similac hat.
finding stuff at a different store where we were and sending it to certain friends who
Yes.
couldn't even get some of that stuff. So
Yes.
I can't even imagine.
So it's all expensive. It was like, man, it was like every few days we were getting Similac, and it was like, what was it, like $36, $37 a pop. And my wife was like, I think my mom was like, oh, why don't you just get the CVS brand? I'm gonna be honest. This is like, there is nothing wrong with getting the generic versions of it. But my daughter's bougie. My daughter is
Be honest, bro.
bougie.
Where'd she get it from? Did she get it from you? She get it from...
Look at me, man. I'm wearing a hoodie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to be the one to say, I want to ask the question,
my
but...
wife,
All right, well, that's good, though.
she got really high standards.
That's what's up.
Which I love.
That's good.
Sometimes, and I think it rubs off on me, because then she'll go to the grocery store and she'll buy, what is it? There's this, like, the mac and cheese. You may know what it is. It's the one with the powder, the ones with the cups, the powder cups.
Like the Velveeta cup?
Kind
you talking about
yeah.
the mac and cheese? Like, or
Yeah.
the little
Put
3
water in
minute.
it.
Yeah, my
you
kids
put-
used to love that
yes.
joint, bro.
So she buys that, and one time she got the Lidl version of it, and Nova had a fit. She wasn't eating it. She was throwing it over the floor.
So what is this?
Yes.
2%
Yeah.
milk. This cheese is just not up to
I tried to give her almond milk, and she looked at me crazy. Nova does not play. So if something is not up to standards,
Yeah. Well, you know what, too? Because you said it might be like a bougie thing. You're kind of a chef for real.
Yeah.
And you can throw down. So maybe it's a
Standards.
taste bud
It's a
thing,
standard.
bro. She might get that from Pops.
Because Nova likes, and I don't know where she gets it from. She loves spicy food.
Really?
She doesn't complain. I made jerk chicken yesterday. Nova tore up a jerk chicken wing.
Wow.
No coughing, no nothing.
Oh, wow. That's scary.
She has like,
Not playing games.
she has like, if we make her eggs, I can't make a scrambled egg plain. She won't eat it. I got to put garlic in it, a little Italian seasoning in it, and cheese, and like make sure it got a good consistency,
Bro.
and then she'll eat it.
Sounds like she actually appreciates your meals because my kids don't.
Really?
Bro, when I go in, they don't want it.
Really?
Like, I don't know what, like, that's what I say about the mac and cheese. If I'm talking about whipping up
Going crazy.
grandma's mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's basic but a little bit of extra, you
Yeah.
get the butter. You
Go
can
crazy.
You can do eggs or not. It's
You
kind
go
of up
to
to you.
town.
You know what I'm saying? Just go to town.
Yes.
They don't want it. They want the Velveeta.
Yeah.
They want the little 3-minute little box.
It happens.
It
to
makes
me.
me so.
It happens to me sometimes.
Oh,
Because
bro.
I can make something fire. I think I made like braised short ribs. It took me about 6 hours to do. I put a lot of work into it. You know what I mean? Nova tasted it. She was like, "Hey, go in that freezer, get me them frozen chicken
nuggets. Was it the Dino
The
nuggets?
dinos.
Come on,
The
brother.
dino was. Man, you better make
Kids
sure.
can be your worst critic, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
She'd be like, she'll look at the food.
they can be your worst critic. And I guess they can be the worst critic from the ages of like 1 baby or whatever all the way up. Because even now, when I'm thinking about like my parents and stuff like that, I think about like all the great things they did. But I also think about like all the things that I wish I didn't have to go through with my parents or like discipline and stuff like that. You know, now being a parent, you think about all the things like, okay, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to do that a little bit differently. And now when you think about, too, your parents were probably where you are like right now. They could be maybe a few years older or younger, but when they had their first child, they never did that joint before either.
No,
Like
no.
that was the first time for Dad. Like
It was, yeah, and so I know you probably had conversations with your pops and your mom when you found out you were going to become a father and stuff, whatever, whatever. When I told my dad, I was kind of in a, I'll be honest, and my wife was too. I was panicked. I was in a panic. I was like, hold on, I just graduated college, just commissioned from the the academy. I'm ready to go and just spend money frivolously because I was tired of making $200 a month. Living off
real
of
different.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm getting actually paid. I'm out here just living it up, whatever, whatever. And I called my dad and I said, hey, okay, Kayla is pregnant. He was like, oh, okay, all right. And I was like,
That sound like a dad. Yeah, that's a good
he was
dad.
like, oh, okay, all right, no problem. And I was like, yeah, but like, I can't do it. I can't be a dad. Like, why are you so calm about this?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, bro, I had my first kid around 17.
So you're like, you gonna figure it out.
You be all right.
Yeah,
You got
okay.
a job. You are financially able to take care of yourself and the kid. You gonna be all right. I was stressing.
Did that help you when he said that?
It made me think. It made me put stuff in perspective. Because you know how in high school you've seen people who have children in high school,
Yeah.
and you don't realize how expensive children are.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking all those people, they decide to have children, which is everybody's choice, right?
Right.
And so they decide to have children in high school. I'm thinking now, at my age, I'm like, how were y'all able to do it?
And when that's when they talk about like having a village and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like they had that.
The support system to
because
help them
without
out.
that, it is
Horrible. And
hard.
So I know for you, how hard was it for you to be in Guam,
man.
away from everybody?
And it was very different. And I gotta say, it's very different because like we weren't with like our family members.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
what I mean. Yeah.
Her mom would always come up and sister whenever I would like get underway and go on ship and stuff like that. When we were there, although her parents did come, like her mom came
That's
and her
tough.
little brother like came just kind of like visit for a couple of days.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily to come for support. So you think about me, I was getting underway like a lot. Like I enjoyed my time in Guam, but I was leaving
Working.
just working. And
Yeah.
I was working a position and a job like in a space where there was very few like people, like very small manning. It was just me and another guy in the operations department. Shout out to my boy Casey Deck. He taught me a lot while I was there. But we had some nights where it was like 7, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, or coming in because some crazy typhoon. So when I think about like my wife with these 2 kids on a brand new island, looking for things to do, also looking for support, she had, thankfully, the moms to lean into.
See?
At first, I would say like it was very hard for us because you don't have people for play dates. Play dates is extremely important.
100%.
You kind of got to know the location so you can take them, things during the day and stuff like that.
Especially free things.
Yeah,
Good free things.
Oh, bro, I need
good free things to do during the day.
But the MWR there is like really, really
Okay,
good. So,
that's awesome.
They would go to the pool and they could always hit the beach. And you think about you're in Guam, it's 24 hours, like just summer for like 365
Beautiful
days a year,
weather,
pretty
yeah.
much. But there were definitely hard times, but thankfully, like she did have those moms that she could lean into and talk to.
Yeah.
But when I think about like some of the dads, we just kind of like sharing the time together away from our kids, and the only thing I guess that we don't really talk about it too much. It's just like, hey, bro, you speak to the fans, like yeah. It's never like really a conversation like
No, nothing in depth.
yeah, like how are you doing away from like your brand new born baby or whatever, or like. Have you built a relationship with your 5-year-old now to a point where y'all can talk when you're away? Because you're going to start seeing, too, when your kids, and you probably see this sometime maybe with some of your nieces and nephews or whatever, when they're like 4 or 5 years old, bro, you get on the phone with them, they're like, you say, like, hey, how was school?
Good.
It's good. That's it. That's it, bro. That's all you get.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, you're trying to get like a relationship with them where, one, no, like depending on the age, that they're not going to forget you. Because that's something that we get scared about, right? 2, that you can actually have a conversation with them and actually talk to them. Because when they're so young, you miss the mess out of them, and you can have great fun and stuff with them when you're in person.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're like away from them, you don't get that.
Yeah.
And that's stuff we deal
Familiarity.
with, and we
Yeah.
don't talk about it to each other.
Yeah.
And there's something else I saw on, I don't remember, I saw it on YouTube. Somebody was just having a conversation about when you're, Going back. Remember all the appointments after having a baby? You go back into the
doctor's office.
Doctor's
and
office.
Yep.
They have so many appointments, and they were talking about this questionnaire that the women normally get, and it's asking about like their mental health and stuff like that. Asking like, how are you? How are you?
And the
sleeping?
questionnaires and everything.
Yeah. Are you sleeping? How's your mental? Like all these different anxiety, depression, and stuff like that. And I think sometimes they forget about like the dads, bro.
Yeah.
Because not saying now, I will never say I want to switch spaces, or I'll never say or belittle or reduce what women go through in postpartum.
It's a different beast.
I will never reduce
100%,
that at all.
100%.
But what you can't forget, especially like somebody who's in like the medical field, I'm surprised when they forget to ask us too how we're doing. Because if you're working, let's say you're the breadwinner or anything like that, now you got a new crazy sleep schedule and you're still trying to act normal during the day, or let's say your wife is going through any type of postpartum depression and you don't know how to you don't know how to help her.
I've seen it, and I didn't know what
maybe you might find yourself spiraling. So like, if nobody's asking you, are you okay? Who are you supposed to go speak to? Especially if it's not normal for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like I cut you off a little bit.
No, you're 100% right. And you go in there, and they're also surprised to see that you're involved.
Yes, and that's that blows my mind. Especially like, you ever gone somewhere with just your kid and they look at you like, oh my God, good job, as if you're babysitting. This is my kid.
This is my kid.
Like,
you know,
hey, I made this. It's kind of mine. Mine too.
That's funny. You're right. And the thing is, you go to the doctors, and I guess there's a different type of my doctor. It's funny because my wife says, they treat you all nice and everything. The nurses want to flirt with you and see how you doing and stuff like that.
Lord.
Nurses, my wife tells me there's this one nurse that works in my daughter's doctor's office, and my wife, every time my wife come home, that nurse, she giving me some ish, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They love to say like, your little girlfriend. I saw your little girlfriend today. Or I saw so and so today.
And all the nurses, it's so funny. Like I had great experiences with them, but they just say, "Oh my God, it's just so good to see someone involved in their kid's life." But it's like that should be the normal,
right?
You know what I mean? It shouldn't be out of character for a dad to say, "Hey, I'm gonna take my daughter to go get her appointment. Right. I'm gonna go with my kids I'm gonna go to a conference at my kid's school. Wife, you stay home. Whatever, you got to do some work. Don't worry about it."
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Though. Why do you think that is? Because I have my own reasons why I think sometimes it's like that. Why do you think it's like that? Like,
so,
or why
we could all go into the spiral about a time in our country's history where it was incentivized for dads to not be involved in the household. We could talk about that. And, that just keeping, and I think two-parent household in general, when you take one parent out of that household, you put a burden, not a burden, but you put a lot of pressure on the parent.
You mess up the balance a little bit.
It's that give and take. I'm not saying that there's gender roles or anything in a household, but there can be a disciplinarian. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I'm going to be soft to my daughter.
Sometimes you need a good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. And,
helps.
That helps in the household, right? And so I think, that obviously taking fathers out of the household before. And then also, there's a lot of fathers that aren't involved in their children's life. Yeah. And that is, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. And they ask those questions to moms because sometimes it's kind of and we're, my wife and we had our daughter young, so they may be under the impression, they're stereotyping us probably, to think that this woman, she's younger. My wife looks like she may be like 21, but she's gonna have that
for a long time.
Yeah,
cool.
It's good for her.
Yeah, that's good.
What I mean?
I love
it's
that
good for me. It's good for all of us. You know what I mean?
Man.
I'm glad. But so they may just be under the impression, oh, this is a mom who had a baby with some guy, he's not involved, and it's just they see it all the time probably. Yeah. And so when they do see a father taking the initiative to just be a father, just to do your job, they think it's refreshing, right? And then also...
It's not always bad.
Yeah, it's not. You know what I mean?
But it can be kind of weird if you're like normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think... I guess I'm no like veteran to like being a dad or anything. Yeah. My kid's only 5 years old.
You are. I look up to you when it comes to the dad thing.
I appreciate it. I'm still working. I'm a growing father. I'll just say that like I'm learning a lot. But I can't say there has been times where I have struggled to like find my place. You know what I'm saying? And when I say find my place, it's kind of like an age thing. From 0 to 1, like all our kids have been breastfed.
Okay.
So like the first one, Azai, he was in a NICU in the beginning for like a couple weeks, so he did learn how to take a bottle stuff, which is extremely helpful.
Oh, it starts.
Because like
That's
now
good.
I can get involved, but for some reason at some point he just stopped. Like he didn't want no pacifier, he didn't want none of that stuff.
Okay.
Which kind of like created a like mental block in my head, like a limiting block in my head. The only reason why I say that is because he only wanted like her. Like he only either wanted to eat like when he was away, so he would want her. If I was ever holding him, it kind of just made me feel like, not that he didn't love me, but he didn't know I was his daddy. Like, bro, I'm your daddy. Like, we can hang out and chill.
I felt like I wasn't loved.
And, bro, and it hurts sometimes, especially like when I would leave. When he first started going to daycare, I would leave and go on the way, and I was coming back, and he was still in that phase. I remember picking him up my first day back from daycare, and he saw me, and like I tried to go pick him up. He was not with it. Like, he like screamed as if like I was stealing him from the daycare, bro.
Everybody looking at him.
And
he was looking at you crazy.
And all I'm thinking about is the videos, when you come back from deployment.
Your kids are supposed to be right there.
Yeah, you get like this mystical like idea of what it's fantasy type thing, what it's supposed to look like. And it wasn't that. So like during that first year, I was like kind of really struggling to find my place or what it looked like. And what it did to me was made me feel kind of like unequipped a little bit to like just take the kid out to go do something without mom. Like I feel like I needed to have mom there with me.
Yeah.
So like I feel for the dads who find themselves in like that position, and we can have another conversation at another time about kind of like how you can find your role and things that you can do to kind of like build a relationship with your child at that age.
It's hard
and moving on because it is hard and like working with your spouse or a special other significant whatever that dynamic is for you all, but. There's different reasons why, like you said, there's different reasons why they kind of act like that.
They be like, oh my gosh, Mr. Polk is here?
Oh, Mr. Polk?
Yeah. And I'll be like, how y'all doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, you gassing me up, man. I'll be like, how y'all ladies doing today?
Well, see, at least they call you Mr. Polk. Like, I feel like I never got Mr. Crow. Maybe they were afraid to say my name wrong. I would always just like, how is Dad?
Yeah.
Is Dad here today? Bro, OBGYN will throw that out there real quick and say, hi, Dad, would you like to come see the Dad? I'm like, bro, maybe I don't like Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to just
I have a name.
Call me something. Call me by my name, please.
Yeah, 100%.
Or whatever. But this has been extremely cool, bro.
Yeah.
We're coming in closing for our time or whatever. It's always easy and good to just sit down and have a conversation with you. We do this all the time.
Yeah.
If we're ever like in transit at work, we always sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go hit up Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
It's not
we need
Maker's Craft Brewery.
Yeah. We need it.
Yeah.
I need it. And I think being around a father and a husband, more importantly, and someone who does believe in Christ helps me grow. Because I do got a lot of friends that are single.
Yeah.
They doing their thing. They running
Mingling.
rapid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's fine.
Completely fine.
But there is a balance when you're trying to be the best husband you can be and the best father.
You need somebody to keep you accountable.
Yeah, and you need to be around those good folks. So it's so clutch that, one, you went to the academy, you played football, you did a lot of time, you spent some good time in the military. So if I got questions about that stuff, which I've already asked you, you've been through it. And also the brotherhood aspect of it.
Yeah.
I've connected with so many brothers that are like, I'm having lunch with a brotherhood guy on Tuesday.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? But being able to tap into that, because you've been through some stuff, right?
Yeah.
You've been through more stuff than I've done. You've seen some stuff that I haven't seen. And I can connect better with you than possibly my dad because his experience was completely different.
Yeah, that's true.
So I definitely look up to you, and doing a safe space podcast for dads is truly like a special thing. Like every time you post a video, I show my wife, "Okay, look what Mark's saying." You see, you understand, girl.
Appreciate it.
Every time she be like this, I know, Dad's got stuff too.
Yeah,
and I be like,
that's
this.
all we want to talk about.
Thank you for appreciating that.
There we go.
Yeah.
And the more I bring you around to have these conversations, and the more people I get a chance to bring into. What I'm hoping is that the people in the audience get a chance to kind of relate to somebody.
Yeah.
Because there are going to still be new dads or maybe even older dads who just haven't branched out to have a conversation or like to build a friendship or even maybe they might be having some type of feeling that they don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, or they might have questions. Like I would love to start getting questions about things that we can have a conversation about right here in this safe space. And I'm not saying I'm going to know the answer to anything. I'm no veteran.
Yeah.
I got some very small experience.
But we could talk through it.
We can talk through it.
We could talk
and that's
through
all we
it.
need to do.
Yeah.
We'll throw in safety tips here and there about car seats, all that other stuff. But as for right now, this was good for episode 2.
Thank you so much,
man.
bro.
I love you,
like
dog.
you a real one. Love you to death. I love your family. I love what you're doing, man. Like you're an example.
Thanks, man.
And you don't got to change nothing up. Just keep on being you, and people gonna follow.
Amen.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
That's a good way. That's a good.
Oh
way to
yeah,
run it.
to close it out. Boom.
That's a good way to run it, man.